Three female entrepreneurs turned besties share on life, business, and the journey through the mess. Join their community with every new episode for connection, education, a few laughs, and the hype energy like a bathroom full of drunk girls at a bar. It's okay.
We're your friends now.
Hey guys, it's Ashleigh.
Hey y'all, it's Katie.
And Biz. Man, I'm so glad to see your lovely faces today.
Hi.
How are y'all doing? How are you, Katie?
I'm great. I'm sure I'll talk about this later. I just got back from Charlotte, had a great week down there. Yeah, a lot of fun. I think are we going to do highlights of our week?
We should. I think that's a great idea.
I have really dumb but important ones to me. Obviously highlight was being in Charlotte. So I look for little joys in my day. And this is kind of a bad thing to put on a podcast because nobody can see. But I like to be a hydrated girly. So for Christmas, two of my gifts were this like pour over coffee mug that Brett got me. So it makes coffee right into the mug. It's super easy. And it's really cute. I don't have it on me. But then this like little slim can koozie for some of my drinks. And then when I was in Charlotte, I found this cup for my water that's dark green. That's an intentional branding choice that I was very excited about. And then my friend Brittany got me hooked up. These are Reese's dipped animal crackers.
Oh, I like the industrial size bag of your candy. I too also just leaned over and grabbed an industrial size bag of Nerds gummy crisp clusters.
And so like big shout
I don't even know that those exist.
Oh my gosh.
They do exist.
These satisfy everything. It's the chocolate on the bottom, peanut butter on the top, and an animal cracker inside. So you have like sweet, salty, and crunch. And it is everything.
I'm pretending I never learned
Where'd you get those?
She got them at Costco or BJ's or something.
Hashtag sponsor us, Costco.
Yeah. Anyways, all of my highlights are food related or beverage related. But that's like a big part of my everyday. So I'm making them cute and happy.
Yeah. Ashleigh, what about you? What are your highlights for the week?
So I have two as well. One big, one small, because I also like highlighting the little things because it helps keep me very grounded. So big thing was that I took both my kids to New York, just the three of us. And it was a kind of a test vacation for us because that's like, you know, they've done Disney World and like those types, but this was really our first, like, we're going somewhere to see things. There's gonna be blocking. There's gonna be food that you might not like, and it went really well. We had a blast, even though it was pretty cold. We navigated the subway by ourselves, and everybody had a great time. So that was a big win, and tons of great memories. The little thing is that because it's the frost, the polar vortex or whatever, I got both of the Not My Cats into my basement successfully.
Wow.
So, those are not. Are you sure those aren't just not cats? Like, that's the mangiest looking cat I have ever seen. And the fact, like, y'all don't hold on. You gotta describe this thing. Like, it is black and bushy and like spiky at the same time.
He's terrifying. He looks massive because he's got all these mats in his fur, and we've gotten okay, guys. This has been like a almost 3-year-long journey at this point. When we first moved in, we would literally just unlock the door, and he would take off running and disappear just at the sound of our door unlocking. So now I can literally pick him up, his little mangy, spiky self, and snuggle him against my head. And his claws are all grown out, so they stick out 24/7. He's all matted. He's got feline HIV. So he's got like little crusties, and it has taken so much time. But I am so glad, and like that is my little win because, like, to me, he's just a little innocent creature of this earth. I don't really know his backstory. Or why he was so scared of people. And to just know that just by being here, I'm making his life easier and better. Like that really brings me a lot of joy.
I've already cried I've already cried exactly 5 times today. It's about to be the 6th as you talk about your cat. Not your cat.
Basically running a nonprofit animal shelter in my basement.
I thought that
Can
was
you write that off?
No, I'm just kidding. My cats got fixed this week, so big ups for that.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Not slowing down.
Yeah, and like pseudo stumbled into this like birds and the bees conversation. I wasn't looking to have.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So that kind of happened. So I don't know if we call that a win, but it definitely was an awkward experience of this week for me. Yeah. And then, but for me, wins, big win. I successfully created a Venn diagram of quality time with my family, sentimental things, and rekindling relationships with 2 friends from high school. And I had my friends from high school use their talents to do hair and makeup and photography for my mom, Nana, daughter, and I at my mom's house. And it was really special. So that was the big thing. And then little thing, I got a haircut.
Yeah, girl,
and I cleaned out I know I did. My hair is like so much shorter now. And I cleaned out my office. I did because my executive assistant is coming tomorrow. Ooh. And I'm so excited. She's going to be here for the whole week.
Wow.
That's so cool.
I know. I love when my friends are in town. Yeah.
Can I also, you said big win. Can I also say that I launched my new company?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I'm like, I bought a new cup.
I got a nice snack.
I launched a new company.
I mean, priorities. You got them.
Oh,
Congratulations, Katie. I mean, yeah. You should. Yeah. In fact, you should do an ad. You should totally do an ad for our episode.
Next episode.
I haven't done one yet. So.
Yeah, you should. Heck yeah. Stay tuned to hear. I'm just kidding.
Okay, well.
Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So me and Becca Lutz launched Speakeasy, which is resources and representation for people who want to speak, and basically an easy button for people who need speakers or talent for their meetings, events, conferences, whatever. We are really excited about the talent that we have signed. I don't know if you all saw the post with the lineup of like our founding speakers, but they are some pretty kick-ass people. And we've since gotten into business with even more, and the response has been really great and humbling. We're really, really excited, and we've got some huge stuff planned for this year, which I know I'll talk about later in this episode. But yeah, it was cool. It's been in the works for a little bit. And so it was really nice to do like a hard launch this week. And I think I'm so overwhelmed from the positive support we've received that like when we talked about wins, I was like, cup. Snack.
No,
I went to bingo. I saw Mean Girls.
Quick side note, I saw the best sweatshirt that said "Born to Bingo," and I need it.
What? Okay, so this was designer bag bingo. So like, if you win, they had like 9 different designer bags. And when I tell you that my friends showed up with custom bingo bags where they have like their daubers or dabbers or whatever in them, cool. And like their clappers and all this stuff. And so I'm going to bingo next week. It's vendor bingo, and some of the people custom make bingo bags. So I'm going to get one, and I will now be a permanent fixture at the bingo place. Pretty. I don't know if you
guys know this, but I have personally won a twerk off at drag bingo.
Okay.
No.
Did not know. Zero surprise. Is there video evidence of this happening?
There probably is. From my friend Taylor was there, and I'm pretty sure she has a video stocked away in case she ever needs it.
Okay, I'm gonna need it. I just planned out in my head our 2024 marketing for the podcast. Thank you. We are good to go.
Thanks. Yeah. No, it's funny. We were like talking and have alluded to what the topic is of this podcast like 5 times and haven't even said what it is. But tonight we are talking about goals. Yes. Goals. Goals in the sense that not so much what our goals are, but goals in the sense of like why they are important, how we set them, when we set them, and who we set them with. Those are more of what we're going to be talking about. Because honestly, I think I can speak for all of us, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but like goal setting is the lifeblood to my life. For me anyway. Like if I am not goal setting, I am dying. Like that is truly how I feel, me personally. Do y'all feel that way? I mean, it may not be that dramatic, but
sometimes I feel like I have like an addiction to goal setting.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've consciously had that thought that like I feel like but I think it's probably true. Like if I get complacent, I get really antsy and I start like my brain just starts going into like, okay, what can I change? What can I do? What can I work on? What can I fix? So probably yes. I just don't think that I've actually like consciously thought that way. So thank you for that nudge. That'll be my journal for tomorrow.
I learned this about myself because when I'm depressed, I can't goal set. And I know I mentioned this previously in another episode, but I just want to like bring it back up since we're actually talking about goal setting. But that's like a big thing for me, and like realizing that I have to be intentional about goal setting so I don't get depressed and so I don't feel complacent and stuck and anxious and all of those things. And even like sometimes that language is just around making it a goal to appreciate the little things, right? Every single day. And so like the goals aren't always big, but like the mental framing around goal setting is really important for me.
Oh, definitely.
Well, and I think especially like in what you're talking about, it's making goal setting a habit instead of a response or like a one-time action.
Yeah. So your habits. So I've not considered, you're right. I do have habits around it, but I've never identified it as a habit. So like, do you have habits that you can just list off that you know of yours that you do?
I mean, my biggest one is my journaling. That's like I wake up before my feet hit the floor. I'm doing my journal. I'm drinking my water and I'm doing my journal before I start my day. And like, but and journaling for me encompasses gratitude and goal setting for the day and affirmations. So those are big ones. Other ones are probably like, I mean, I have tons of little habits.
Yeah. Ashleigh, do you have any
like really intentional?
Do you have any habits around your goal setting, or have you ever thought about it that way?
I mean, I have a few, and I think number one is I've always been an advocate of the brain dump, which is basically at the end of the day a to-do list. But it's the idea that the brain dump is not necessarily every task must be completed by like the end of the day. It's sort of just a place where I can go throw up all the ideas that are in my head, that like late night motivation that you're like, these are all the things I'm going to do. I get them written down. And especially if it's like minutia that I know is going to hold me back from my bigger goals, where it's just like stuff you have to do. Like I have to respond to that stupid email. So I need to get that done, but I don't want to do it until after I've gotten my goal, tasks accomplished. And I don't want to forget about the email. So I'm going to just dump it into this little thing, after 12 o'clock, when I'm done with my core business activities, I can turn to that list and go, what are some quick things I can get done? That's my biggest habit that's really stuck with me for like years and years and years. And I don't check things off. I know a lot of people say that like,
do you make like a goal list, like of your goals that's active that you check through?
No, sometimes looking at the goals, especially when they're big, it makes me really sad. So to look at it and not be there, or to look at it and feel like this week I didn't make any progress. Like this week I was sick. I came back from New York. and it's just been tough to get like regulated back into normal.
Do you think like with the vision boards and like you put it up there, I think some of the philosophies, sometimes I can give myself grace of like, did I think about this week, and do I still want it?
Yeah.
And like, and so that's where like, you got to give yourself some grace with that too.
Yeah.
And seeing it there, because you're still working yourself towards it if you're still chewing on it. And because of how we subconsciously really direct ourselves, right, towards what we want.
I think it's really interesting too, like the different way that people's brains work. So I was teaching somebody a couple years ago about 411s and GPSs, which we use frequently. Basically, it takes down like your annual goal, and then you break down like, okay, to hit that, what do I have to do every month? Like, what steps do I have to take every month to get there? And then what steps do I have to take every week? And then at the beginning of every week, it's like, well, what does every day have to look like in order to get that? And some people hate it. And some people do theirs really generalized. Like it would be, well, I need to work out 3 days a week this week. And I need to talk to I need to set 3 appointments or whatever it is. And for me, mine are super, super specific. So it would be like, okay, I need to work out 30 minutes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I need to call 15 people this day, set 3 appointments this day, like whatever it is, it's super broken down. So it's like, I have to call this many people. I have to set this many appointments. I have to do this, do all of things. And I think for me, it's because while I do like to get distracted, the benefit of it for me is like, especially now, if I do need grace, when I look at that big list of my goals, more often than not, days that I feel like I failed, I've actually made some progress, but I haven't hit this bigger goal, right? This like, okay, well, I didn't accomplish the like big picture version of it or whatever, but I made progress. So maybe the timeline is going to be a little bit different. But when I have it broken down onto like, these are all the steps to get there, most days I'm like, oh, I took some steps, even the days where I feel like I did nothing, I took some steps. I did have a win or some wins or like I got there, and tomorrow I'm just going to have to take different steps.
Yep. So I have to often sit with myself at the end of the day and do that too. Do you ever, Katie, I know you journal in the morning. Do you journal at night too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. You're so freaking good. I love that you're like this is just like an example of how you represent accountability in my life just by being in it. Cause it's like, God, if Katie can do this, I can do it too. And actually I did get up and journal twice this week for like a long time. Instead of laying in bed and scrolling on my phone, I couldn't sleep when I woke up early. And like, there's some vulnerability there, guys. Like I would love to do it every single day. It's hard because it's really tempting to just scroll Facebook on my phone and trick myself into thinking it. But I know that I'm not going to achieve my goals if I just keep scrolling on Facebook. So even though Facebook is good sometimes.
It is, but that's why I have, like, I know I talked about the 5-minute journal app, right? And so it's on my phone and it has the things like you pull it up and it says, what are 3 things you're grateful for? And when you hit those, it goes to what are 3 things you're going to do to make today great? And when you put those, it says, what's your affirmation for today? And then it gives you like some motivational quote. So for me, it's much, much easier to not get tempted in the scroll because when I pick up my phone, I have a rule with myself that I don't click anything until I click on my journal app. And since it's right there, I just bam, 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 wipe it out, literally 5 minutes, if that. And even if I don't end up getting to like a deeper journal, I at least spent some time sitting in that and starting my day right. And so because it's on my phone and it's on the device, we're all tempted to pick up our phones first thing in the morning. I have to choose my battles very wisely. I'm just not going to, especially if like it's buzzing or my alarm's going off or whatever. I'm not going to win that battle every day. That's fine. If I pick up my phone, then I just do my journal first.
Yeah, we should totally do a whole episode on journaling. Mm-hmm. I think we should. I think that would be really beneficial to talk through.
I know you had mentioned the app before, and I was like, that's really good. I should download that. And of course I didn't. So this time I took the opportunity and I just downloaded it.
Yay! Yay.
Sweet. So now are you able to go back and like track it there in that app, Katie?
Yeah. So it tells you what, like, it starts a streak. So like how many days in a row you've done it, but you can go back to any day and look at like what your things were for that day, what your entries were. And if you pay for the upgraded one, you can even like at the end of the day, you can post photos from the day,
or you can just use the prompts, right? And like journal in your own. That's probably the better way to do it.
Yep. So
that's
like
the way
right
I'm gonna
now,
do it.
I had one day that I got sick, so I didn't do it, but I'm on like a 270 something day journal right now. But then it even has guides. So like if you're not feeling super inspired, it has like prompts for you that you can choose from that it pulls up. As I go through this and I look at, like right now I'm pulling it up to look at my streak and it has like the different prompts and stuff. So sorry, I'm on a 289 day streak.
Nice.
And so when I look at these, it's cool because it also gives you like frequent words, your mood over time, all sorts of stuff. And so it's easy for me to see like, oh, these were frequent words that came up with my goals, or these were goals that I was working on and they showed up a lot in my journaling. Because it's digital, it'll track that stuff for you. And it's a really cool way to see like the timeline also of like, you can tell when I'm really scared because my affirmations look like, I am capable, I am strong, I am confident, whatever. And so I actually have gone back previously to be like, okay, I think around this time I was working on such and such, or like, I know I did business planning at this time and set some goals. How was I feeling? Was I feeling empowered? Was I feeling scared? What was I feeling? And I look at my emotions during that time and then like reflect on what's changed since then and now. So it's a good measure of like, are my goals big enough? Am I hitting them? Do I constantly feel discouraged or do I feel excited?
So that's how you track yours. You track yours through
It's
your
one of the ways, yeah.
journaling.
One of the ways. Yeah. I think it's, for me, that's metrics and all of that matter a lot, but also like numbers don't matter if I'm not living a life that's fulfilled. And so journaling is like the emotion and the me of it. And so it's cool to track like how I'm doing on the inside as I go along these goals.
Love that. Ashleigh, what areas of your life do you specifically set goals for? Like, do you have them in buckets or do you just kind of like go through? Because I kind of just meander through and live a very fluid goal setting life. And I realized that like, as I was planning on and making the outline for this episode, I was like, man, like I'm really lacking some direction. And so that's why a lot of my questions are geared towards that for y'all. Cause I'm curious to see if you guys like think the same way I do or not.
I mean, for me, it definitely comes in seasons of life. I had a lot of personal goals right after my divorce happened. And there's so much like soul searching going on, some self-identity that needed, to happen. And so there was a ton of inner focus. I'm very fortunate that I feel like my personal life is in a great place. And, like my goals would be more of like my daily reminders of things like living in gratitude and giving my kids a happy childhood, like those kinds of things, rather than like, I don't know how I don't even know what one would be right now. So all of my goals tend to, in this phase of life, be career oriented. I've mentioned it before, but I had like a year of kind of floundering with like career. What do I want to do? I don't even know. Everything is just I just felt really lost. And so that was a year of just career discovery and capability discovery. And then this is the year of saying, okay, I know what direction I want to run. Now I need to make myself do it.
Yeah. And that goes back to pulling the lever, right? Like our very first episode. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. I definitely like going back to talking about me knowing that I'm sad or depressed whenever I can't goal set. And so like learning that about myself, like I said earlier, I just realized that I'm very fluid and I really am embodying this whole like giving myself grace when I screw up and changing my mind and then just very quickly showing up differently. And that also comes along with lots of rapid changes in my goals too. And so I was trying really hard at the end of the year to have like this list, you know, like everybody was like resolutions. And then I realized that that's really stupid pressure to put on myself because I am already slaying goals that I set, and like timing is arbitrary and, you know, like all of those things. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, this is what I'm actually working on. And there's only 2 goals in each area. So for me, there's professional, and then there's my family, and then there's friends, and then there's community involvement that I want to do. And that's and then there's financial goals, obviously, that everybody's got. And so that's how I break mine up. And I have 2 in each section. And I found that I can almost run away with goal setting. And actually, this is something else I want to talk to you about too, because, and Katie, have you ever read the book Rocket Fuel? Have we talked to this? Yeah. Are you a visionary or an integrator?
I'm a little of both. I lean towards integrator, but
have you taken the quiz from the website? Yeah. I do, because Ashleigh, you and I have talked about this like at length about being Ashleigh and I identify as visionaries. And it's interesting with goal setting for me, and like the way that you were talking about how you make a task list at the end of the day, it's like almost hard. Like I can get paralyzed with ideas of goals. And it like becomes like too specific. And then it's like I get sucked into the swamp of like, you know, fake accomplishments, you know, and like that's where like SMART goals. Oh my God, SMART goals. How the hell did that not get on my outline? Holy cow. Katie, can you rattle those off right off the top of your head? I can't. What a SMART goal is?
It's specific, measurable, actionable, something with an R, and then timely, right?
Yeah. If I wasn't 2 drinks in.
Okay.
Realistic, I think.
Way to go. Realistic. Way to go, Ashleigh. That was impressive that you pulled that out. But yeah, SMART goals. Basically, the main thing is to me is that they've got to be measurable. Like they've got to be measurable. You've got to be able to measure them. Very, very important. This SMART goal thing, like, are you looking it up, Katie?
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-based. I don't think that's actually.
It's basically what I said.
I think there's a few different definitions because
I think that
specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely.
Realistic and timely. Yeah.
The realistic part is the one I struggle with. I know I made a mention to the whole Becca Lutz brought up. I don't even remember what it was called now, but it's this like theory an entrepreneur introduced where you set goals that like, you know, are impossible. Like you set it with the idea that like, there's a 50% chance that I can't achieve this.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting because like every year that I have hit my goals, I feel let down.
Really?
You know,
because you did the expected.
I'm like, I guess I should have set those higher. I look back.
Do you reward yourself for your goals? Do you ever reward yourself when you hit them?
Girl, I reward myself for everything.
Yeah. Well, no, fuck yeah. Hold on. Can I get amen on that one?
Ashleigh had a bad day. Let's get her a little treat. Ashleigh had a good day. She deserves a little treat.
Ashleigh, Katie got crumble fixed for you finally. No, just
Ashleigh gets a little treat.
Ashleigh gets 5 orders of crumble.
Yeah. No, but honestly, that's what we were talking about, the little wins, but that's what my office is. Like, wait till you see it next week whenever it's fully transformed. But I think rewards are really important for goal accomplishments too. And that's where I don't feel disappointed is because then I get to check a big thing off my box. So do you get like big rewards? Like I'm talking like big rewards, like rewards that you wouldn't normally give yourself.
I don't know that exists.
I know. I've been shoe shopping with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess sort of. There's a year I hit a sales metric, and so I ordered my first pair of Louboutins, and I went with the super high heeled stilettos, and of course they're too painful to wear, and I kept them too long, so I can't return them. And so, yeah, that was kind of a bust.
Are they like your shame shoes? I have shame shoes in my closet that also still have for Louis
They
Vuitton.
are shame shoes. I keep thinking I should just sell them, but like they signify that goal to me, and so it's hard to get rid of them. Even though I know I can't wear them except for pictures. I can wear them for pictures.
No, you shouldn't get rid of them. Those aren't the shame shoes. Mine are my second pair. Those are the shame shoes.
Oh, I love my second
pair. I love, and I wear them, but they're Jimmy Choos. They're not Louis Vuittons. I can't wear the Louis Vuittons either. That's why those are my shame shoes, because I can't wear them.
That was my other big reward is I went and achieved like a speaking goal, and I had to travel somewhere where they had a Louboutin store.
I was with you.
Yeah. And so we went in person, and like that was so much fun.
That's where I bought those shoes. That's where I bought my shame shoes, because I got like peer pressured in. I like literally had FOMO over your moment, and I was like, I got some shoes. So now I know that like you can just go and support your friend, and you don't have to pull out your credit card to be there. I learned that lesson, and that's why I have those shoes in my closet, Ashleigh. We bonded over that. That's like completely different things, and it's the same damn shopping trip. We're never going to that mall again.
That's so funny. It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
It was. God, that was a couple years ago. Anyway, God, man,
yeah.
I
have rewarded myself for goals, but when I get to the end of the year and I look back, and it's kind of like, okay, let's do it again. Whereas if I don't hit my goals, I feel a little bit more like, I don't know, like, oh, I'm gonna show like I didn't hit my goal, but I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. I can do it this year, and I'm gonna raise it.
I love a chip on my shoulder.
I do. Yeah, I love a good chip on your shoulder.
I love it. Good. Yeah.
You know, actually, I'm really proud of us. That's like such a big full circle moment. Like, look at our growth. Like, real talk. I mean, I'm not trying to like keep circling back to all these things, but like that was years ago, and it's like wild to like. I just had a whole full ass circle moment over those damn shoes, and like we're on a podcast now talking about girl mathing our way through things, and like sometimes girl math like, red bottoms. Yeah, this is why like girl math also elevates, because now we talk about tax deductions.
Right. From Louboutins to cost segregation.
Yes.
That's to be the title of
the title. So, like, and honestly, I think my goals have matured over the years too. And like, that's just a really great example of it, right? Because those shoes, like, fuck yeah, we're a goal list. Because like, yeah. But I mean, like, that's just an example of where it changes. And like, we can give ourselves grace for, you know, wherever we were in that moment, if it's even, but it wasn't necessary. Because like in that, whatever. I don't feel bad about it, but I do have them there, and I do think about them. And I don't have goals for material things besides like doing my office now, but that's more like chasing the feeling of really enjoying it when I walk in this room every morning. But yeah, so that's like, it's a goal. And again, I'm Venn diagramming again. You know that? Look at me. I'm making my reward part of the goal in general, which is to like love my house.
I don't really set rewards for my goals. I don't think. I maybe take into account what I want, and I create my goals around them. Usually the reward is like achieving whatever's necessary to get like what I want. I don't have a thing like when I hit this, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. It's I want to do X, Y, and Z. And so here's the work required.
Do you go in like, I know, well, Katie, we know you journal like religiously every morning and evening with it, but like Ashleigh, Do you go somewhere to goal set, or like where do you go to like think about that stuff, or how does that happen?
I have another answer for this.
Pop into your head like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna fucking do that, because that's what happens to me most of the time, and I have to reel myself in. The visionary is strong.
The visionary bullies me around. That I do think that's a good idea. I can get inspiration sitting at my kitchen table, lying in bed, on an airplane, like it just comes anywhere. So if I'm like, I have solid time to think and I'm in a good place where I can think about things, I'll set goals. I just need to be in a place where I'm not like, oh, I just thought of this thing. I got to get on my computer and get started on it right this second. I have to like be okay sitting and thinking.
Okay, so let me pitch this idea because I just got back from it and big fan, because so I have done every year, right? Like your typical get towards the end of the year, reflect on the year you had, choose what you want to do next year, spend a day like setting your goals, creating your outline for the next year. That's awesome. Becca and I were launching this company and decided that we should do like a business planning and goal setting week or a couple days, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we gave ourselves a little bit of advance notice so that we were able to like brain dump for a couple weeks, just anything that we wanted to talk about, anything that we wanted to cover. And then we embodied the way that we want this year to go. And so I flew down to Charlotte. That's where she lives. We booked a room at the Ritz, so that both of us were removed from responsibilities, the temptation to slip into habits of doing things like around the house or our normal responsibilities. We could be totally focused on what we want to do, where we want to go. We got to like spend good quality time together, enjoy our time together, be totally focused on what was in front of us, and like do our affirmations and our values and our goal setting and what we want it to look like, totally removed from like any other responsibilities. And I know a lot of times people do clinics and they go to like a different office building. Big recommend for like your career, like the purpose of business is to fund the perfect life, right? And so like go somewhere that you want to spend time. Most people don't want to spend time at like another office building. And so like I know I posted the photo on Facebook and everybody was laughing about it, but we had those giant Post-it note sheets and we stuck them on the window of the Ritz, and like we had glasses of champagne and our robes and comfy slippers doing goal setting and business planning, because that's the life that we want. That's what we enjoy. And we were able to really focus on like the purpose of what we're doing and what we want it to look like. And it was unlike anything else. And I'm more excited about those goals than any I've ever set. And they seem more achievable, not in a like, oh, we're going to hit this no problem, but we've embodied that and it's reflective of who we want to be. So they feel very,
it's who you are.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also, so like, this is a tough one for me too, because I think end of the year is really important to take time to reflect on what you've done. And like, that's a good, easy way to measure, right? Like we talk about goals should be measurable and you should be able, like, they should have deadlines and stuff. One of my favorite compliments I ever received was that I'm a woman of action. So I accept that, whatever. I love it. It doesn't matter. Like December 31st and January 1st are not like, it's not a difference. It's just a day. So if you decide that you want to do something, the timing doesn't matter of it. So like I flew down on January 9th. The year had already started, but I flew down on January 9th because I don't really give a fuck. It could have been November. It could have been December, January, February, or whatever. Whatever timing works for you. And then we implement.
It could be tomorrow.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like, if you have a goal and you want to set it, it's like some people are like, I'm going to start going to the gym next week. No, go today. Just go do it. Like that's, you want to do it, go do it. So that's like, we spent time doing that. And then literally in the airport before I was walking onto my plane, I had to switch screens to scan my boarding pass, doing like the hard launch on social media of our company. Cause I was like, we want to do it. We're doing it. We're not picking a date to launch. We just did all these goals. We got all of our contracts signed. We're just doing it. And it's totally different than how I've ever done it before. And I love it.
That's awesome.
Rant over.
What is a goal that we can hold you accountable for around that, Katie?
Great question. Glad you asked. You want to hear some crazy stuff?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Year one. Over 600 bookings for year one of our company.
So how do we hold you accountable to that?
Make sure I'm getting bookings every week.
You got it.
Yeah. I was just about to do 600 divided by like what, 50? So you gotta get 12 a week.
Yeah, I've got 32 in the books right now.
Okay. So you got a little bit of a runway, a little bit of head start, got some wiggle. You got some opportunity for some time off in the future. That's what you got right there, Buttercup. Let's go.
600 bookings. One of our clients called me the other day and was like, I don't know if this is outrageous, but if your first year you want like 100, and I was like, oh, sweet baby angel. No. 6. There was math involved in that. We did math it out according to different metrics.
You know what? I think that's a good point, is like the idea of realistic versus when to go unrealistic is how badly do you want it to, like, how badly are you going to try to make it happen?
Yeah.
Like
where is that goal on your goals priority list?
Yes, because
in the different buckets that you have goals, right?
Yeah.
And like those priorities, and like Katie, again, like she really knows what she wants, probably because she journals all the dang time. And honest to God, she talks to herself multiple times a day.
I do.
So many people in businesses of all kinds, they set an income goal, right? That's usually kind of the top. And a lot of people will say, well, I am going to make $500,000 this year. But it turns out that really they're only driven to do the work to earn 200,000 or 100,000. And that's really all they need. And that's all that fills like their desires. So they'll never push to do that work.
Yeah, there's no consequences if they don't.
And yeah, exactly. Right. Like there's consequences if you don't make your basic cost of living.
Yeah.
And so it's, if you're really driven, you're like, no, because I want 100,000 to go into my investments and I want $100,000 to pay off my parents' house. Like, then you're going to be driven to those.
Yeah. Well, and I think like Biz, the point that you're saying is right. Like I have fully embraced delusion for 2024 and I am loving it and it is great. And in the same breath, there's a difference with me saying like, I'm going to buy 6 international properties this year. Okay. Not to put down delusion. That's not in my plans literally anywhere. It's not anywhere in my plans. However, to say I want 600 bookings through Speakeasy, that is, and I know what's required. And it's a big goal. It's a lofty goal. But guess what? If we end the year at 550, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like doing great. There's some buffer built into that. And also booking over 600, there's some magic that happens there. We know the work involved. So it's like, it's delusional because most people starting out would be like, let's shoot for 12. One a month would be great. We're a new company,
Some people would call us delusional for having a goal of 21 episodes.
Yeah, because we are, and I love it. And we're talking about it like
I mean, we're talking about
like, and for us, we're like, that's a great start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly. I'm like, and it's going to continue forever and ever and ever.
But
and all of the above. But like, you know what I'm saying? Remember that? I just like, whenever I tell people, they're like, oh, how long are your seasons? I was like, seasons?
This is till one of us dies? Like,
I know, but apparently that's a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I'm like, well, we're just kind of talking about our lives as they're going on, kind of what's relevant. So,
but here's the difference in that, Biz, right? Is like some people want a podcast for X, Y, and Z reasons, and the goals set around it, if they're not hitting those goals, they're tempted to abandon the project and work on something else that is immediately hitting those goals. Our goal was like connection, seeing each other, encouraging and empowering other people. We do all those things every single week. We get to hang out. We get to talk to each other. It's fun. We like it. Talking through our stuff helps all of our other goals. And we get constant feedback from people about how these episodes impacted them. So like we're more motivated to stay on track. And it doesn't seem like a scary goal to us because Why wouldn't we do it? It aligns with our mission.
Yeah. Mic drop. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for explaining that to me. And I had no reason to be nervous.
Mm-mm.
What about you, Biz? Do you have a goal that we can hold you accountable to this year?
Yeah, I do. And they're big and scary.
Good.
But Ashleigh, yours, I want you to hold me accountable to video.
Yes.
I noticed you ignored when I tagged you.
I did ignore you when you tagged me.
Is an answer, FYI.
I did. I just cannot take a minute. And did you see Kelly call me out? Oh my God.
Straight call out.
Rally. I was
Savage. I love it.
I love her too. So I do want you to hold me accountable for that. I don't know what that looks like, but thanks. And
I'm gonna keep tagging you every day. Hey everybody, did Biz do her video yet?
Her video's gonna just be her like flipping you off. In the camera. Are you happy now, Ashleigh? My house.
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
You know what it needs to be good? You know what it needs to be good?
Me.
It needs to be done.
It needs to be done.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's the first time I've snorted on this whole thing. I think that might be the first time. Or now, fuck it. But but Katie, for you, I would like you to hold me accountable. I bought a 1 line a day book for 5 years. It's 5 years worth of it. It's the same book. And I really want to start there because it's one freaking line and I'm going to do it. And do you think I should do it in the morning or in the evening? Probably in the morning. I should do it in the morning as the first thing I do before I even look at my phone.
Yes, ma'am. And then send me your line.
Is that what you think?
Send
I think
me your
so.
line. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to send you a picture of the book.
If you send me your line every morning, I'll send you something from my journaling every morning.
Okay. How early is too early to text you?
My girl. My child wakes up at like 4 a.m.
Okay, bet.
Eastern.
Okay, great. All right, let's do it. Okay.
Also, my phone will not wake me up if you text me.
Okay, thank you for that boundary because I'm bad at that. I'm bad at texting at all hours of the night. But I am doing delayed text now. I am.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Ashleigh, what about you? What can we do?
So my goal that is like there's a 50% chance of failing at it and I don't care is that I'm going to hit 1 million followers.
Yes, ma'am.
Across my multiple handles that I'm managing. So it's not on one single account. It's a summation of them.
Cool.
Dude, I think you need to do like 1.5. I think you're going to hit 1 million. You think you're going to only do 50%? You think that's the 50% is 1 million? You make the funniest videos and you've gone like viral a few times. You're going to dude, watch. And you're being so intentional about it right now. Like you're throwing so much of your energy into it. Yeah. Yeah, girl. Okay. This is already being recorded. All right. You're calling it out. Timestamp it. I love this. This is fun. I'm like so motivated by your goals. Like I'm pumped. Okay. I'm gonna go make it. Just kidding.
This was a horrible idea to do as a nighttime episode because I feel like it just filled us all with a little too much energy.
Any final comments tonight?
Set crazy goals. Like crazy. We have crazy goals. And when I tell you I cried so many times because I was like, they're not going to be big enough, which was such a mind fuck for me. Like, it's really good. And I'll share this too, right? So Becca sent me a video of this girl talking about how, while yes, it's a fairy tale, Cinderella's life was changed in 24 hours by one shoe. One shoe can change your life in 24 hours. So, like, stop.
That's why we bought those Louboutins.
Yes. Like, stop. I am legitimately making us custom shoes that say Speakeasy on one of the shoes each.
That's cute.
Because it's the shoe that's going to change our lives. But like, whatever your goals, stop making dumb goals just so that you can check it off and be like, yeah, I hit all my goals this year. Yay, I can make a proud post at the end of 2024. Like, stop it. Stop doing that. Embrace that your life can completely change and just go for it. Like, I don't know. What fun is it if you can hit everything? Like, here's how I see it. I shouldn't be able to set goals right now for the end of the year because the person that I will be at the end of the year can see things like I can't see the things that person can see. Because I should have grown and developed so much.
I like that.
The goals that I'll have at the end of the year are things that I can't even imagine right now.
Let's do it. All right. So, Ashleigh, any final thoughts on goals?
Definitely going to reiterate what Katie said. Set the big goals. Set a few small ones. Give yourself the wins. You got to know yourself enough to know like what's going to motivate you. But if you can break it down into your daily activities, then you can achieve it. So just go out there and do it.
I think that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for the wonderful conversation as always. And we'll see you next week.
Whoop, whoop.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.